That part. L.O.T.S Approved Media, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Welcome to the greatest show on earth, the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. This is DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger, episode number 80, all right? I'm the incomparable, the author imitated but cannot be duplicated. I'm the one that keeps creating what they keep taking. I'm the elected, the appointed voice of the streets, leader of the streets, lord of the streets, learning off the streets, living off the streets, etc. I'm public enemy number one. I'm considered the top op. I'm the top opposition in this space, in this podcasting space, you heard? That part. I want to welcome everybody to the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 80. This is powered by L.O.T.S Approved Media. That part. Shout out to everybody in YouTube land. Shout out to everybody in Facebook land. Shout out to everybody in the Twitter space. You heard? Shout out to everybody that's listening to the audio, that's getting a chance to listen to the audio on Apple Podcasts, all right? Bada bing. All right. So y'all know what we do at this time. We about to turn off some of this intro music. Let's cut this intro off right quick. You heard? That part. L.O.T.S Approved Media, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 80, all right? I'm the incomparable. Once again, I am the incomparable, the author imitated but cannot be duplicated. I'm the one they took their style from. I'm the one that keeps creating what they keep taking. I'm the elected, the appointed voice of the streets, all right? Leader of the streets, lord of the streets, learning off the streets, living off the streets. You heard? We got our feet on the land. You heard me, all right? I'm the public enemy, number one. I'm considered the top op. This is powered by L.O.T.S Approved Media. I want to welcome everyone to the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 80. So what does that entail? Okay, let me tell you. We're basically 20 episodes from having 100 episodes. Now, shout out to everybody in YouTube land. Like I said before, shout out to everybody on all platforms. We're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook, streaming on Twitter, and also you guys can listen to the audio, because the audio is a whole different experience on Apple Podcasts, all right? And I suggest make sure you guys are listening to the audio responsibly, because you go to work and you can listen to, have your headphones on, all right? Now, this is a very, very eventful week. Plenty shots fired. This is an exciting week in hip-hop, to say the least. And I just got a gander of something that just popped up on Instagram, all right? I watch the ladies in hip-hop and how they go back and forth. You know, I root for the ladies, because I know this is it's their moment in hip-hop right now. Contrary to what Joe Budden was saying about the labels are no longer looking for female artists, right? Contrary to that statement, we are advocates for women in rap, all right? I notice who's friends and who's not. You know, with the ladies, there's a lot of cattiness, a lot of beefs is going on. But just to get to my point, it looks like Glorilla and JT, one half of City Girls, just kicked off, right? And we're going to speak about that on Instagram. But it doesn't stop there. Not only JT and Gorilla's going at it, obviously we all are caught up in this whole Kendrick Lamar calling out the top three, the big three, all right? You heard the man said, forget the big three, it's just big me. I don't have to repeat it. So you know Kendrick Lamar is going at J. Cole, Drake, all right? Who else he's going at? Well, those are considered the big three. Pardon me on that. And we're going to speak, obviously, we're going to elaborate on that. Now, I want to give a shout out to everybody in New York City, everybody in that tri-state area, everybody up north, because I'm hearing there was a 4.4 magnitude earthquake. Very serious, and we're going to speak about that also. What else we have here? Obviously, Diddy, we're going to speak about Diddy, you guys. It's been a thing with Diddy for the past week or so. And it's not going to stop no time soon, all right? And it's like there's some other people that were added into these lawsuits, into these interrogations and precursor indictments, all right? Now, there's more we're going to speak about too. But let's start off with Glorilla and JT. All right, you guys know. First of all, Glorilla and JT, big shout out to Glorilla and big shout out to JT City Girls. All right, and you know this is a Miami-based platform. All right, so we got to represent home team here. Once again, big shout out to JT. Now, I've noticed it. I'm not a vet. I'm not really how'd you say? I'm not acclimated to how people research things on the internet, as in Instagram and things of that nature. So what I'm saying is, people have taught me, if you see certain people are not following each other on Instagram or whatever social platform, but you notice that their friends are following this person, that's an indication that there might be a pre-existing issue there. And the irony is, I noticed that Glorilla and JT don't follow each other. And this the irony, I noticed this like literally 2 days ago. All right? Now, my mind, the wheel in my head starts turning. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we in a podcasting space now. So this is what I do. I look for those. I search for those type of things. Not to be in the women's business. All right? But I did notice that JT and Glorilla do not follow each other. And unbeknownst to me today, I looked on Instagram. I'm checking out Academics page. And what I noticed today is JT and Glorilla kicked off. So I don't know how far this is going to go. I never knew that they had any pre-existing issues, but it'd be safe to assume when you see these ladies are not following each other, there's a pre-existing thing going on there. I think Glorilla follows Young Miami. And this is a big thing with Young Miami and JT, because it seems like, let me tell you something. I'm a person, I would tell you, your friends are not necessarily my friends. This is what I always tell all my comrades, all right? Your friends are not necessarily my friends. And it looks like this is the same issue with JT and Young Miami. If you guys see, Young Miami has some alliances with some people that are oppositions to JT. They oppose JT. And those indications are there when you see that they're not following each other. And you know, JT, you would think JT and Young Miami was a tandem, right? They come together as a pair. All right, so nonetheless, like I speculated, JT and Glorilla have a pre-existing issue with each other. Now, we about to go on Instagram. I'm going to go on Academics page, all right? And big shout out to Academics, all right? So this is hot on the press. This is something new that it just, I don't know how long this issue has been going on, but it actually, it came to a head today. All right. If you guys don't know, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up on the screen. Allow me one moment. Bada bing, bada bang. All right. Let's go, champ. Bada bing. All right. All right, you guys. What we're looking at right now is JT's Instagram page, all right? Make sure you guys are hitting that like button once again. Don't be a ninja watcher. That's a person that be creeping and watching. Don't be no pocket watcher, because that's just a hater. And you definitely want to be one of these, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call a peeping Tom. If y'all don't know what they do to peeping Toms, just don't go to jail and you will never have to find out, all right? But like I said, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you guys are interacting with the page. Leave a comment. We call that leaving a fingerprint. Wiping your feet on the rug would be considered showing you signs of respect and just hitting that like button. All right, now let's go into this actual JT post on Instagram. All right. You guys can see I just pulled up JT on Instagram off of DJ Academics page. Now, JT is seen, she made a post. She said, I've been said she didn't. She the one that went radio silent. Released a song about slapping rap, the B word. We're going to hold back on the B word right now because the first 15 minutes on YouTube, you got to watch with the cursing and things of that nature, all right? So slapping the rap B, now it's female unity, corny, all right? Now, as you see what it says on female rap, shout out to this Instagram page. They said JT responds to comment about the rumor her and Gorilla got into a fight. So apparently there's a rumor that JT and Gorilla got into a fight. Now, me, myself, L.O.T.S approved me that I was never privy to that. I never knew that JT nor Glorilla ever had any type of altercation, all right? So this is unbeknownst to me, obviously. Now, let's go to a few tweets before. All right. This is something that JT also said. These are random things that JT placed on Instagram, all right? And like I said, this just initially kicked off, like probably within the last hour or so. All right. Now she said, ugly, shouldn't leave your mouth ever, Joe. You look like you was born feet first. Dussy. Well, I can't even say those curse words right now. Give me another 15 minutes and I will go in, I promise you. All right, don't mention me. Secret animosity. Why? So I think she's referring to, and I don't know, she's saying Joe. So I don't know if she's referring to, what's her name? I don't know if she's referring to Glorilla, but that might be Joe Budden. So you guys forgive me here, all right? Okay, now, this is Glorilla. This is Glorilla speaking about JT, all right? And I don't know who kicked this off first, to be honest with you, but we're going to decipher this. All right, Glorilla said, ho, shut up, dumbass, shut your dumbass up. I fixed them ugly and fix them ugly wigs. I said it ain't no beef, ho. You the one with the secret animosity, all right? So Glorilla's basically saying that JT has secret animosity for her, which I didn't know. All right, and she says, this is JT. She's responding to JT posting this. I've been said she didn't. She the one that went radio, silent, played into, released a song about slapping rap bees. Now it's female unity. Corny. So, let's go. Let's read some more. And we'll break everything down. Let me see here. Bada bing. All right. So let's leave it at that. All right, you guys. So, with that being said, so apparently JT saying that Glorilla went dropped the song, basically saying that she was gonna slap rap chicks, and now she's saying that she's holding Glorilla to her word, because she's saying, I guess Glorilla started screaming unity in women in rap. So you guys know at the end of the day, we all want to unify these women. Right? It's a cat fight. It's enjoying, it's entertaining, it's very entertaining. I still want to see women come together. So I don't know, JT just bringing that to her attention that you kind of created a division to how you want to slap rap chicks. We're gonna say chicks and replace it with beef for right now. I'm not sure how this actually started, right? Because there has to be a precursor to this. There has to be something prior to this that initiated this so-called beef. All right, but nonetheless, you guys see both parties are not backing down. JT's not backing down, and I don't think Glorilla's gonna back down. Now, I don't want to go into the tit for tat speaking about who said what, woo-de-woo. That's woman business. But let's break this down in its entirety, right? Look at the grand scheme of things, all right? In reference to JT and Glorilla, when you guys see people that don't get along, that are in the same field, that have some of the same similarities. They're rappers. They're from the hood. They're not the conventional light-skinned type of. These are some hood chicks, all right? And they're both beautiful. I give it to them, right? Glorilla gets a lot of attention as well as JT, obviously. Shout out to JT, shout out to Glorilla. But what I'm alluding to is I think JT and Glorilla are too similar as characters. I think actually what I feel is they're so similar in character that it's kind of hard for them to get along together. I don't know if you guys remember this, but in school, in high school, in middle school, in elementary, sometimes you didn't get along with somebody, right? You guys go through your initial, you meet each other. One person rubs the other person off, rubs the other person wrong. Somebody's feathers get ruffled, in a nutshell. And it creates a beef there, right? You guys, there's some turmoil that develops there. But you ever notice when we was kids, if we have the luxury, if we're able to resolve these situations between you and that person, once you develop some type of rapport with that person, you eventually realize that you and this person might have some similarities, and more similarities than you would like to admit to. And this is something big, because I recognize that as a child, right? A lot of times, what I'm trying to say is a lot of times we argue with people that we're so similar alike that's the reason why we even get into that initial turmoil. In actuality, we have so many similarities. That's what's causing us to bump heads. And you guys, I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is what JT and Glorilla are suffering from. Because in my eyes, right, the way I look at things, JT is an underdog. Coming from out of a tandem, coming from a group, she's now proving herself as a solo artist. Glorilla is an underdog, all right? You guys see what Glorilla went through when she dropped that cha-cha-cha. She already said that probably wasn't she didn't say that was the wrong move, but that song was not well received. There was a song that Glorilla did with Fabio Foreign that was not quite well received. Now, coming from the high expectations of FN and Tomorrow and these other great records that Glorilla released, this didn't get the same response. It didn't get the same amount of views that usually typically her music gets. Mind you, she's virtually a new artist. So what I'm saying is Glorilla and JT have a lot of similarities. They're both from the hood. They're underdogs. They're pretty hood princesses, right? And they hood with it. And I think that's the issue more so. But nonetheless, shout out to Glorilla. Keep rocking. I like that new music that Glorilla just released. I'm not sure. Yeah, Glow. Yeah, Glow. The joint that LeBron James was seen singing. That song is fire. All right. And me as a man, there's certain women songs that I can enjoy. All right. And typically that's not the case. But every once in a while, there's a woman artist that I particularly love her music, right? And I like Glorilla's music, nonetheless. And I'm rocking with JT because JT is a home team, all right? She's home team. So big shout out to JT from the City Girls and shout out to Glorilla, nonetheless. You guys, make sure you guys are sharing this podcast as soon as you guys come in the building. I've been coming on at different times. So that's why I tell you guys to turn your notifications on, all right? Not a lot of people in the building because I'm changing different times, but I want you guys to turn your notifications on. I don't care if we have 10 people in the building. I don't care if we have 1,000 people in the building. Make sure you guys are sharing this podcast. And once again, don't be a ninja watcher. It's a person that be creeping and watching. They creeping. Don't be no pocket watcher. Because y'all know in the hood, when we say pocket watch, that's somebody that's watching your pocket envious of you, right? Don't be a pocket watcher because that's just a hater. And you definitely don't want to be one of these, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call a peeping Tom. If y'all don't know what they do to peeping Toms, just don't go to jail, all right? Hit that like button, that thumbs up for me. Wipe your feet on the rug, same way you do at your grandparents' house. Show that you guys are raised correctly. Show me that you have manners and don't embarrass your parents, all right? Now, you guys moving right along. Listen, I want to give a big shout out to the NYC. Shout out to the whole tri-state area, all right? Recently, there was an earthquake in New York, all right? And it's heard throughout outside of New York. I don't know what other states experienced. I'm pretty sure maybe Jersey felt some of the impact of the earthquake. Nonetheless, the earthquake was a 4.4 magnitude earthquake, all right? Now, I don't know if New York has ever experienced an earthquake before. I don't really think about it. When I think about New York, I don't think about natural disasters. In Florida, we have the hurricanes, all right? So we got used to hurricanes. New York, the most you're going to have is a snowstorm, right? That's the most probably you would have. But I don't think earthquakes are native to New York, if I'm saying it right. I don't think New York experiences earthquakes. But New York has been experiencing some different type of things in the past few years. Some might chalk it up as global warming, all right? But nonetheless, the earth is changing. The earth is changing, and we're going to see some events that typically we don't see in regions that we typically do not see them in. Hence, you have New York now with this 4.4 magnitude earthquake. Now, I'm praying everybody was safe in that earthquake. All right? I'm not hearing about too many casualties because of that event. Mind you, a 4.4 earthquake, 4.4 magnitude is not that high on the spectrum. So, with that being said, shout out to everybody in New York and that tri-state area in the surrounding areas of New York. But I found this very, very funny, all right? And this is something that I always hold her accountable for. You guys know Ice Spice. When I speak about Ice Spice here on the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, I'm always critiquing her twerking, all right? Ice Spice is known for twerking. Ice Spice, when her career is done, she might be known more for twerking than actual music. Meaning her beauty is more extended than her music. And though I like Ice Spice music, don't get it twisted. I like her music. But her beauty exceeds her. All right? Her beauty, you're caught up in her beauty at this point. And she flaunts her beauty more than she actually flaunts her music. But nonetheless, shout out to Ice Spice. Now, Ice Spice took to Instagram, in which I'm gonna quote what Ice Spice said, all right? And I want to clap it up for Ice Spice because I found this to be very entertaining. Shout out to she might get the twerk queen. I think Ice Spice and Meg Thee Stallion, they're fighting for twerking queen, all right? Now, let me put this comment section up. All right. With that being said, Ice Spice, all right, she's quoted saying, I apologize. She said, my bad for the earthquake. Y'all know this ass be clapping. Ice Spice apologize, y'all. New York, don't worry about it. Everybody in the surrounding area, don't worry about it, all right? Ice Spice took full accountability for that 4.4 magnitude earthquake. She said, you know her ass be clapping. And y'all know she do her thing with her twerking and her ass do be clapping, all right? So Ice Spice is taking full responsibility. There's no reason to speculate as to why this happened, all right? Ice Spice is responsible for the earthquake in New York, 4.4 magnitude earthquake. Nonetheless, let's move on. Shout out to Ice Spice and shout out to everybody that experienced that earthquake. Because I see some stuff on Facebook, you know what I mean? Some friends of mine. Shout out to Vilks, because I heard you speaking about that earthquake on Facebook, all right? Now, you guys, make sure you guys are leaving comments in the comment section. We call that leaving your fingerprint. Let me know you're in the building. Interact with me. Now, I need you guys also to make sure you guys are sharing this podcast. All you guys have people that admire you. We all have admirers. We all have friends and family that respect our opinions. Share the podcast. Let's get everybody acclimated. Yeah, I'm on earlier today. I be switching times. You guys got to forgive me. I used to come on at 7. I started coming on at 10. If you notice right now, I think it's around 8 o'clock. Let's see what time it is right now. It's 8:22 to be exact, okay? So you guys, make sure you guys, what I'm trying to say is make sure you're turning your notification bells on. That's how you guys know when I'm going on, all right? That part. Now, you guys, moving right along. All right. I want to speak about this, and we're going to definitely speak about the Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, I'm going to speak about the elephant in the room, the Kendrick Lamar going at everybody. The top 3, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake. We're going to speak about that. That's the elephant in the room. Give me time. All right? Let's hold that for, not necessarily last, but let's hold it towards the end. I think that'll be appropriate. All right. Now, you guys, this is big in all different communities, ethnic communities. And we talking about black and brown here. And matter of fact, we talking about all communities. This is big here, all right? Now, you guys can see Cardi B online. I'm about to go on Instagram, and we're gonna check out Cardi B speaking about her being called a Mexican. Now, if you guys don't know, Cardi B is not actually Mexican. Let's make that clear, all right? We all have resemblance and stuff like that, but let's distinguish who she is, what nationality she is. Cardi B is a mix from Trinidadian, all right, and Dominican. Those are her 2 nationalities. Cardi B is not Mexican. What we about to watch is Cardi B on Instagram speaking about this and her distaste for people thinking that she's actually Mexican. And this is deep, all right? This is a stigma that follows all nationalities, all right? I understand it, but more so, let's look at this. Let's try to look at this. I'm going to pull this up on Instagram also. Let's check it out. But this is something that happens in all realms, all ethnicities, all right? All right, let's go. Bada bing. There we go. All right, let's pull up this Cardi B. All right, you guys, we about to check out Cardi B speaking on being called Mexican. Serious.
Speak the same language. We have different dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So, of course, I'm going to defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not going to keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a Mexican. So, it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that. But now y'all do call me that. I feel offended that people call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican.
Now, you guys, let me know if you guys can hear
My
this
nationalities don't have the same
on
cultures. We speak the
see
same
if you
language.
guys
We
can
have
hear this,
different
hear the audio.
dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call a Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a Mexican. So it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that. I feel offended that people call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican. My nationalities, my nationalities don't have the same cultures. We speak the same language. We have different
You
dialects.
guys,
We don't
leave a
eat the same
comment in the
food. We
comment
don't eat the
section. Let
same
me know if you
nothing.
can hear the audio.
Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call a Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me
All
a
right.
Mexican. So it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that. I feel offended that people call me Mexican. Because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican. My nationalities, my nationality.
All right. So you guys, I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but I'm gonna play the audio also one more time. We're gonna play the audio. I'm gonna play it through the microphone, so you guys make sure that you guys were able to hear.
People call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican. My nationalities don't have the same cultures. We speak the same language. We have different dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call a Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever heard anybody call me a Mexican. So it's like, how the fuck? When I was coming up, y'all wasn't calling me that, but now y'all do call me that. I feel offended that people call me Mexican and stuff because I'm not Mexican. I'm not Mexican. My nationalities don't have the same cultures. We speak the same language. We have different dialects. We don't eat the same food. We don't eat the same nothing. Call a Nigerian Ghanaian. Call a Haitian Jamaican. Call a Jamaican a Haitian. Call a Guyanese a Trini. And you tell me how they gonna feel. And not only do y'all don't call me a Mexican, y'all call me a dirty Mexican. So of course I'm gonna defend myself every single time you guys do it. You're not gonna keep erasing my nationality. Never in my life growing up did I ever.
Okay. Now you guys. All right, that's enough of that. Listen. In reference to nationalities, people being called out different nationalities that they're not actually that nationality. For example, I'm Haitian. Sometimes Haitians might be called Jamaicans. Sometimes Jamaicans might be called Haitians. Now, back in the day, I understand what she's saying. She made some relevancy, some very relevant points when she's speaking her point about being called Mexican. All right. Now, did it annoy me back in the day? Yeah. Was I kind of ignorant? Yeah. All right. If you guys notice, it's not just Haitian Jamaicans. If you call a Puerto Rican a Cuban, you're going to have problems. If you come to Miami, make sure you never call a Puerto Rican a Cuban or a Cuban a Puerto Rican. They're very prideful when it comes to their nationality. So when you see Cardi B in reference speaking about being called a Mexican, right? This is where she's feeling that compelled to separate herself from other nationalities. It happens in all ethnicities because we're very prideful. But the key term is pride, all right? It's pride. First of all, there's nothing wrong with a Haitian being called Jamaican or Jamaican being called Haitian. In the sense of course, you want your individuality. Of course, you're going to correct somebody if they call you something other than your nationality. But if you guys can see the way Cardi B is taking it, shout out to Cardi. She's a Libra. Shout out to my Libras. The way Cardi B's taking it, she's taking it personal. Now, that leads you to speculate now. You kind of start thinking about, okay, does she have something against Mexicans? And I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying she leaves that up to speculations. When you act apprehensive, you get defensive about people calling you a nationality that's not your nationality. And that goes for all ethnic backgrounds. We cannot be so defensive. Shout out to the whole Mexican community. For one, let's make that clear, all right? Mexicans get the bad end of the deal. And I understand that because I'm Haitian. Haitians used to get the bad end of the deal. It's a little bit different in these times. The table turns. Oh, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. All right? But nonetheless, Cardi B is seen like she's shook about that. She's taking it personal. She actually went on IG to speak about this. Now, like I said, this has to do a lot with pride. There's nothing wrong with being called a Mexican. There's nothing wrong with Mexican. There's nothing wrong with being Haitian. There's nothing wrong with being Cuban. There's nothing wrong with being Puerto Rican. That's pride that's triggering people to make these type of arguments. But I see this all the time. Like I told you, I might call once in a while, and I've learned not to do that. Trust me, because in Miami, you're going to learn not to do that. You do not call a Cuban a Puerto Rican, and you don't call a Puerto Rican a Cuban. That's just something you don't do in this city. But we learned that. So Cardi B, if you hearing this, you gotta chill. Just rep your nationality even harder. But you don't have to necessarily allude to not wanting to be Mexican. Because it's a little bit sounding like Mexican is a downgrade for you. And I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying that's how it sounds like. Let's not condemn Cardi. She's one of my favorite. I love her personality. She's great as an artist, but her personality is even better. I rock with her because she's very genuine. She's transparent. She's one of the most transparent artists of this day and age. All right? And especially when you're talking about women artists, she's one of the most transparent artists. And if you don't know, I'm a big advocate for transparency. People that are that are transparent. People that are vulnerable to the public and let you get a glimpse into their personal life. All right, I'm an advocate for that. So with that being said, man, shout out to Cardi B. Let's stop with this ethnicity. Let's stop with that when somebody calls you a different nationality that's not yours. Unless that person's deliberately doing that, then I can see the anger behind it. People calling Cardi B a dirty Mexican, cut it out. Cut it out. Cardi B is millions of dollars. Ain't nothing dirty about Cardi B, but they say them Bronx girls is dirty. That's what Ice Spice said. I didn't say that. Ice Spice referred to her. She said, "You know I'm dirty. I'm from the Bronx." So apparently, if you're from the Bronx, Ice Spice thinks that you're dirty. I didn't say that. Don't shoot a messenger. But hey, just to throw you guys some bell, I was a dirty jit too. I consider myself a dirty jit. I was a dirty shorty, ashy, no lotion, nappy-headed jit. That was me. All right? So I'm not pointing no fingers at nobody. But nonetheless, Cardi B, you guys see what she's going through. And let's just clean it up, bro. Let's clean it up. And let's stop all that. Let's stop all that trying Mexicans. I want people to cut it out, the Mexicans. Yeah, the Mexicans do the most. Mexicans have the hardest jobs. That's a fact, though. Mexicans have the hardest jobs. Nonetheless. But that doesn't mean that they're lesser of people. That don't mean that they're lesser of a people, lesser of a race, lesser of a nationality. That doesn't indicate that. That just means that they're hard workers and they come from tough times, all right? So shout out to my Mexican community. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Trinidadian, Dominican community. Shout out to the Haitian community. Shout out to the Jamaican community. Shout out to the Cuban community. Shout out to the Puerto Rican community. And shout out to all nationalities, dog. Rep your nationality. And don't get apprehensive when somebody calls your nationality other than what you're known for, other than what you present yourself as, all right? Unless that person's deliberately trying you, then that's a reason to go off. But don't go off on the other race. Just go off on that particular person, all right? That part. L.O.T.S approved media. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, all right? This is episode number 80. of the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. We got 20 episodes left, all right? You guys, I went on early today. Like I told you, my times, I've been changing. You guys need to turn your notification bells on here. This is a very exciting week. A lot's been going on in hip-hop, all right? There's some wars kicking off. It ain't just the men. It's the women also. JT and Glorilla kicking off, all right? It's not just Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake. But let's address the elephant in the room here, all right? Let's address the elephant in the room. I think it's perfect time. Make sure you guys are sharing this platform. Make sure you guys are sharing this. Like I said, everybody got loved ones. Share this platform. Share this. All right. I know you guys are all familiar with the Kendrick Lamar, the recent release of Like That, all right? So Metro Boomin and Future dropped the project, and one of the leading singles has Kendrick Lamar on there. Now, we all heard, we've been hearing it throughout the week. All right, he's dropped the bombshell drop. He's going at J. Cole, obviously, and Drake, all right? He said, motherfuck the big three. Nigga, it's just big me. I'm not going to stop repeating that because that was a defining bar, very defining. He's not with the camaraderie. Kendrick Lamar said, miss me with the camaraderie right now. I need to take y'all heads off. And I'm an advocate for that because I love hip-hop. I love the battle part of hip-hop. That's what gives hip-hop its integrity. That's what makes hip-hop distinguishing from other platforms when we go at each other. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar for that one because he woke hip-hop up with that one. I'm loving it. I'm loving it right now. Now, you guys, you know, we were all skeptical. All right? We all were speculating as to who would respond first to Mr. Kendrick Lamar. All right? There's only two gentlemen that can respond at this point. That's part of the big three, obviously. So between Drake and J. Cole, and what's J. Cole full name? Jermaine Lamar Cole. All right? Between J. Cole and Drake, I was contemplating, I know you guys are speculating at home, who was going to respond first. Now, you guys know that Drake is more calculated, right? So I kind of guessed that Drake would take longer to respond because Drake not necessarily has more to lose, but Drake is a numbers game, all right? Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, everybody's playing a numbers game, but Drake is prided on numbers, all right? Drake is trying to break records. He cares about numbers, views, spins, streams. This is what Drake is concerned about. So it didn't surprise me that Drake didn't respond yet. Listen, Aubrey has yet to respond. It's been a week now, and Aubrey has not responded as of yet to Mr. Kendrick Lamar, the big stepper out the West Coast. He's yet to respond to Mr. Kendrick Lamar. Now, like I said, Drake has numbers, so Drake prides himself on numbers. So this battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar could potentially hinder those numbers. That's why Drake is going to be less likely to answer the Kendrick Lamar too soon. Drake's going to be more calculated. Drake's going to be more strategic. Rightfully so. He has more to lose in reference to numbers, all right? Because these guys, it's not even close in actuality. There's a big gap when you talk about numbers between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and Drake. Drake is far ahead of these gentlemen when in reference to numbers, all right? But nonetheless, shout out to all three gentlemen. Now, as I assumed, it was safe to assume that Drake would not respond first. And you guys, here at L.O.T.S Approved Media, I was right, all right? If it's one thing about hip-hop, I will tell you about hip-hop. If you want to talk about war, I'll tell you about war. I already knew that Drake was less likely to respond before J. Cole. But remember, Drake, Aubrey, OVO General, you're on borrowed time right now. Drake is on borrowed time right now. And it's bigger than Kendrick Lamar. Drake has never stepped to a worthy opponent such as Kendrick Lamar. Like I always said, Meek Mill, dope artist. Dope, revered as a dope artist, obviously. But Meek Mill is not elite in reference to players like, Meek Mill is not mentioned, at least now, currently in these days, with the likes of a Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, or Drake. Meek Mill just doesn't perform, his music doesn't perform on that level, all right? But nonetheless, he's a superb artist, and he's part of the elite. So big shout out to Meek Mill. We're not downplaying because I'm a fan of Meek Mill. Shout out to Meek Mill. But now, shout out to Dream Chasers. But now, we're speaking about the big three. Now, you guys, like I assumed, like I thought, Drake has yet to respond. Drake, you on borrowed time. You need to respond. But on a good note, got some good news, got some bad news, some good news. Bad news, Drake has yet to respond. That's the bad news. Now, I know y'all want me to get to the good news. The good news is J. Cole has responded. Jermaine Lamar Cole, that's his whole name. Jermaine Lamar Cole has responded. Rightfully so. That's what you call a worthy opponent. Big shout out to J. Cole. Before we even go into who did what, said what, who got the advantage, who got the disadvantage, who's better than what, metaphors, did you hear what? Before we get into all that rhetoric, let's just give a big shout out to J. Cole for responding to Kendrick Lamar so soon. In the tradition of hip-hop, typically how hip-hop goes. All right? Now, sometimes you do have late responses, like how Nas responded to Jay-Z late. All right? But that was a beef that was brewing for a long time. A lot of subliminals back and forth was going on. All right? But once in a while, there's a late response. I'm not saying that Drake can't have a late response. But for some reason, when it comes to this is needed. All right? This is needed in hip-hop. Ever since Jay-Z and Nas and Tupac and Biggie, we haven't had this in hip-hop. All right? We haven't had this. This is the first glimpse of we're seeing of actually men that are on the same level, lyrically, elitists, battling. So this is an amazing moment for hip-hop. Let's not get this twisted. This is an amazing moment for hip-hop music. All right? So shout out to all gentlemen. I don't care who's better at this point. I do. That'd be a lie. But I just want to give a shout out to all gentlemen. So whoever loses is what I'm trying to say is you're still a winner. Hip-hop is winning right now. Big up to those guys. Because it's becoming a lost art, right? They're battling on the underground scene, but there's no elitist battling. A lot of subliminals. You know Drake is king of subliminals. And I take shots at Drake for being so subliminal and not direct. And I hope Drake is not subliminal this time around with Kendrick Lamar. Because we will speak about it on this show. All right? But nonetheless, you guys, Jermaine Lamar Cole, J. Cole has responded to Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to J. Cole. Now, you guys, I think it got released today. Now, if you're hearing, well, I think yesterday it got released. If you guys are hearing J. Cole, I'm just going to tell you, just from my opinion, all right? And we'll go into the lyrics. J. Cole was lackluster for me. Don't kill me here. Please don't shoot the messenger. In comparison to Kendrick Lamar, coming direct, up-tempo, energy, punchlines, lyrical dexterity. He's winning in all these categories. Even the beat selection. Now, mind you, even though they did, we got to take in consideration that that wasn't his personal beat. That was for Future. So I don't know if Kendrick Lamar would have selected that beat. So we got to take all these things into consideration when we're grading these gentlemen on who did what and what attributes do they deserve, right? The beat better than J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole for that beat. I'm not mad at the beat that J. Cole chose. I'm not mad at the beat that Jermaine Lamar Cole chose. But that wasn't your typical battle rap beat. Now, judging song for song, if you take J. Cole's song, you take Kendrick's song and J. Cole, and you go ahead and you write out the pros and cons. To me, I feel like, here at L.O.T.S Approved Media, I feel like Kendrick Lamar has this wrapped right now. If that was J. Cole's attempt at going at Kendrick Lamar, he better have more in the fuel tank. Cole better have more records in the tank, in the cut, in the vault. Because if Cole thinks that that one record that he dropped on Kendrick is going to do something, that shit barely left a mark on him. That's like having a scrap. You go into a fight, and when you finish fighting, and you leave out of that fight the next day, or even right after the fight, you go on Instagram, you go on social platforms, I don't have a mark. They didn't leave a mark on him. Listen, J. Cole barely left a mark on Kendrick. And I'm going to say that off top, off the ripper. But nonetheless, big shout out to Kendrick. Big shout out to J. Cole. But J. Cole barely left a mark on Kendrick. Beat-wise, the beat, you comparing the beats, obviously, I like the beat more that Kendrick Lamar used. Punchlines was hitting harder. His punchlines was hitting harder than J. Cole. The dexterity, just the level, the rhyme patterns was more intricate, obviously, than J. Cole. J. Cole's rhymes is not even intricate like that, all right? And I said it, don't shoot the messenger. But once again, let's not get switched. Shout out to J. Cole. We're not taking nothing from J. Cole and his body of work, his catalog, all right? But we're talking about this isolated beef that they have right now, all right? Kendrick has the lead right now. Now, we about to go on Instagram. I'm going to go on Instagram, and we're going to break down some of these lyrics that J. Cole hit Kendrick with, because there's some relevancy to the lyrics, obviously. Obviously, all right? Make sure you guys hit that like button when you're at home, all right? Shout out to Planet, goddammit. That's my partner in crime, my eyes behind my head. Shout out to you, Planet. All right, let's go into this right quick. All right. Now, this is something I want to speak about right here. All right, you guys, right now, you're looking at some of the lyrics. You're looking at some of the lyrics that J. Cole dropped on this new single. All right. And I want to get the name of the single. I did forget what was the name of the single. I did forget. All right. 7-minute drill. That's the name of it. It's called 7-minute drill. 7. Now, these are quoted lyrics from the 7-minute drill song, which I had a chance to listen to. All right. Now, he said your first shit was classic. So he gave a shout out to Kendrick Lamar's first album, which is To Pimp a Butterfly. He said your first shit was classic. Then he continued to say your last shit was tragic. All right. Now, I got 3 of Kendrick Lamar's albums here. All right. The first one was To Pimp a Butterfly. The second album was Mr. Morale. And the third album was The Big Stepper. All right. So To Pimp a Butterfly, Mr. Morale, and The Big Stepper. So when he's speaking about the first album, he's got to be speaking about To Pimp a Butterfly was a classic. I can agree with that. J. Cole, I'm with you. I'm with you with that. That's a classic. All right. Now, in reference to the second album, Mr. Morale. All right. So when he's speaking about Mr. Morale, that album, he said that album was that album was tragic. All right. I don't even remember Mr. Morale like that. Now, you of course remember the singles. That's why they put big marketing dollars behind that. So of course I know about the singles, but I'm not a big fan of Mr. Morale. All right. He said the third album, The Big Stepper. He said your second shit put a nigga to sleep. Let's put it down. He said your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. So he's saying the last shit that he dropped, the last album that he dropped was The Big Stepper. And he said Mr. Morale put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. All right, so let me just read it once again. Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. That part. Now, when you're speaking about that, let me remove this right quick. All right. So I don't even know about Mr. Morale. All right. His last joint put niggas to sleep. To be honest with you, Kendrick Lamar's last project wasn't that bad to me. To tell the truth, I like the production on it. Sonically, I like the album. Now, I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar listener, right? I don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar other than his singles. Now, I'll crack the album when it drops. But I'm not a big fan of Kendrick Lamar's albums. But I am a fan of his lyrical capability. So that's why I'm a fan of him as in this battle. I'm more on Kendrick Lamar's side in this battle. I'll be quite honest with you. Because I feel like Kendrick Lamar, his authenticity, how genuinely he wants to uphold the integrity of hip hop, I love it. When you're speaking about J. Cole and you're speaking about Drake, I don't think they have the same objective as a Mr. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is preserving hip hop culture. So I want to give a big shout out to Kendrick Lamar no matter what. But in reference to his albums, yeah, J. Cole might have some there's relevancy there. Not everybody likes Kendrick Lamar. All right. Some might feel that people gas Kendrick Lamar. Because Kendrick Lamar, he's held at such a high regard. But his music doesn't always reflect that in general consensus when you're talking about the hood. Not every hood is rocking with Kendrick Lamar like that. All right? But I think we all recognize his lyrical capability. So nonetheless, big shout out to Kendrick Lamar on all 3 projects. But you guys let me know. Do you guys feel the same way that J. Cole feel? Do you feel like Mr. Morale was tragic? Because to use tragic, that's strong. To say that any Kendrick Lamar project is tragic that's some strong verbiage to use. Because if you grade Kendrick Lamar when you grade him in comparison to his colleagues, his constituents, Kendrick Lamar performs higher than his colleagues. So any project that Kendrick Lamar drops, I find it hard to believe for it to be tragic. All right? He might have just been reaching with that one, nonetheless. But still, shout out to J. Cole. But I'm here to say that J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar, that's not going to do it. So, J. Cole, this has to be a warning shot. J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar has to be a warning shot. This cannot be what you expected. This response, you can't by no way, shape, or form expected this to be the kill shot. So I'm giving J. Cole some credit. I think J. Cole studies the art of war. If J. Cole has studied prior hip-hop beefs, you know that first record, that could be the nail in the coffin, but the first record is supposed to be the setup record. In hip-hop, when you have 2 elite MCs or any MCs going at each other, that first diss record is supposed to be a setup. All right? It's like Jay-Z with that lane. That was a setup record, right? That's supposed to get the wheels turning, get the blood boiling, ruffle some feathers, and then go in for the kill shot. So that's what I was expecting. And I think that's J. Cole's plan. Because if J. Cole thought anything otherwise, Jermaine Lamar Cole, you were sadly mistaken if you thought that was a headshot. All right? Now, in reference to Kendrick Lamar came out rough and tough. I'm going to be real with you. No Diddy. He came out rough and tough. Kendrick Lamar came out, I didn't expect Kendrick Lamar to hit so hard first go around. So this, I'm curious to watch how this is going to play out. Because when I think about Kendrick Lamar, I more so think about Kendrick Lamar, I'm like, does he have a record harder than Like That? If Kendrick Lamar, let's just entertain this. If Kendrick Lamar has a harder record than Like That, that means Drake and J. Cole are in trouble. Because out the gate, if that's a setup record, wow. If Kendrick Lamar has something more impactful than that record, this would be amazing, unprecedented. And it's a different strategy. Because I've never seen nobody in hip-hop the first time go around and hit them so hard. I've never seen that. I've never seen the person that initiate the beef go so hard. So what I'm saying is if Kendrick Lamar doesn't have a better record than that, then Kendrick Lamar, strategy-wise, he made a mistake. Kendrick Lamar more so, I love that he went direct. That record is super hard. So at this point, Kendrick Lamar has to either match the intensity of that first record or it has to be better than the first record for Kendrick Lamar to sustain this battle, to sustain this war. But nonetheless, salute to Kendrick Lamar. Salute to J. Cole. And I'm still going to salute Drake just for being in this category. And I know Drake is going to respond. I don't know how fast Drake is going to respond, but I'm hoping Drake responds soon. I'm hoping for that, all right? I don't want no late response on this. And let's kill all this noise about Kendrick Lamar's only known for controversy. Cut it out. Because me, as a person who loves hip-hop, raised in hip-hop, I never thought about controversy when I thought about Kendrick Lamar. I think about lyrical capability when I think about Kendrick Lamar. I think about somebody who got crowned as the West Coast new king. And I was sitting back watching Game crown this man. And this man has yet to have the accolades that the guy he's being crowned by, but that Game has. Though Game has more accolades than Kendrick Lamar, he announced Kendrick Lamar as the new king of the West Coast. All right. So this kid was prophesized, what I'm trying to say. Kendrick Lamar was prophesized, and he's meeting those expectations. Slowly but surely, he's meeting those expectations. Big shout out to Kendrick Lamar, brother. Big shout out to Kendrick Lamar. All right? That part, be smart. Now, you guys, make sure you guys are sharing this podcast, all right? Make sure you guys are sharing. This is episode number 80. All right, that means we have 20 episodes left till we reach episode 100, and we in the building. It's a very exciting week in hip hop. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't be a ninja watcher. All right, make sure you guys are participating with this. Hit the like button, show that you got manners, show that you was raised right. Hit that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. We call that leaving your fingerprint. Let them know that you guys was here. Shout out to Paul Bizzle in the building. That part, Bizzle, my brother from a different mother. If you guys don't know, listen, I've been going on at different times. You guys got to excuse me. Life be lifing at times. Life be lifing. So you guys know the past few episodes, I've been going on at different times. That's why I tell you guys, turn your notification bells on, no matter what platform. We on Instagram. We're on YouTube, obviously. We're streaming on YouTube. We're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter. So I need you guys to turn these notifications on so you guys know when I'm actually going on. Because things are subject to change, such as life. That's how it goes. Life be lifing. All right? Now, last off, I want to leave off with this. Listen, I want to give a big shout out to Sexy Red. If you guys seen Sexy Red's new video, let me see. Let's see the name of Sexy Red's new song. All right? Let me pull this up on YouTube right now. Big shout out to Sexy Red. Shout out to the whole St. Louis. I met some St. Louis chicks today coming out the gym. Shout out to them girls too. All right. Sexy Red. Let's see what's going on. What's her latest? What's the name of Sexy Red's latest song? Get It Sexy. All right. Get It Sexy. I should have known. All right. Listen. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see Sexy Red's new song. I want you guys to get hip to Sexy Red. We thought that Sexy Red was going to be a flash in the pan. We thought Sexy Red was going to be a one-hit wonder. We thought Sexy Red was an industry plant, how you call it, a parody, all right? Nonetheless, with all those speculations, with all those labels, I think she's going to defy all these labels that people have thrusted upon her, such as me, myself also. I didn't know how long Sexy Red would last. To be quite honest with you, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. That song threw me. I did not like Sexy Red in the beginning. I'm going to be honest with you. The song was cringing at first. Until I noticed her genius. Ladies and gentlemen, Sexy Red is a genius. Let's be clear here, all right? The way she markets herself. The way she gets the algorithm going. The way her music performs in the clubs, in general public, YouTube, wherever her music performs. The way she's well received. The way Sexy Red is embraced by the women as well as us men. Sexy Red is a genius. She just dropped a song called Get It Sexy. Now, it's the typical Sexy Red song. Hood bitch. Talking about her baby daddy. Repping blood. out of St. Louis, red weave having, booty shorts wearing, tattoo having. You know what we love. That's what we love. If you see what she's doing in the song, when you see the video, Sexy Red dropped a song called Get It Sexy. In this video, she brought some of there's some highlights in the video. There's some featured guests in the video. For one, you guys know Sexy Red, she had Drake in the video. Now you see Sexy Red and Drake, they've become a tandem, right? They've become, it's a thing between Sexy Red and Drake. Sexy Red refers to Drake as her baby father. Rich baby daddy. That's what she calls him. So they have their thing, their intimate thing. I don't know how far it goes, but they become real close. It's to the point I can't distinguish, are they being real or are they faking it? I don't know. At this point, I'm under the assumption that there's something there with Sexy Red and Drake. But she didn't only just have Drake in her video. Sexy Red brought back the internet king, the king of the internet. She brought Soulja Boy on. Big shout out to Soulja Boy, all right? She's actually doing Soulja Boy's dance. She's doing Soulja Boy's dance, all right? Very reminiscent of Soulja Boy. She's dancing with Soulja Boy in the video. If that wasn't enough, not just Drake and Soulja Boy, she actually brought back Fabo. Geeked up. Listen, Fabo, if you guys know, during them times when Fabo was out, we was all rocking the Fabo. Fabo is one of those unsung heroes, all right? I'm higher than a motherfucker. Right now, I'm shooting it, dead in it. Geeked up. You remember Fabo? If you guys are familiar, I'm singing Fabo and Jeezy's song. Fabo is an unsung hero, all right, in the music industry. Big shout out to Fabo, all right? He looked healthy. She has Fabo in the video, y'all. So not just Drake, not just Soulja Boy, but also Fabo in the video. Now, she didn't stop there. As of recently, I know you guys have seen Sexy Red online with who that is, Mr. Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross is the streaming king right now. Him and K-Sanat, they're the streaming kings, all right? Obviously, you guys see the back and forth going on with Sexy Red and Aiden Ross. Well, they've continued this friendship, and they're just building a greater relationship, right? You can see Aiden Ross in her video, and he's beating off to Sexy Red. You guys, Sexy Red is the new sex symbol. Don't shoot a messenger. Sexy Red is the new sex symbol in hip hop. Sexy Red has taken that spot. All right? Sexy Red and Young Miami had a twerk off. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it online the past 3 days. Sexy Red was twerking in them red booty shorts. Sexy Red ass is clapping and waving. Shout out to Sexy Red. Now you know Young Miami. Conventionally, typically you would, if you had the choice between the two, I probably would have chose Young Miami, right? Young Miami did a twerk. There's a twerk off. Young Miami's twerk in comparison to Sexy Red's. Young Miami ain't go as hard as Sexy Red. Young Miami, you did a good job. But it's not necessarily what Sexy Red was doing. Now you see, I'm a twerking analyst. I'm a stripper analyst. I'm a sexy bitch analyst. And when I seen Sexy Red doing her thing, Sexy Red, when she's twerking, her ass is waving way more. There's some jelly in that bitch. You feel me? A lot of women that have BBLs, they ass, there's no wiggle in their ass, right? It doesn't shake like Jello. It's kind of stiff. I'm an expert in the BBLs. All right, I've dealt with enough strippers and women to know a BBL and how it functions. Sexy Red, obviously no BBL, no injections, no fat transfer, no silicone. Sexy Red won in that twerk off between her and Young Miami. And it's online right now. You guys check it on Twitter. Even Young Miami has bowed down to Sexy Red. Young Miami says she wants round 2. Young Miami says she wants a rematch against Sexy Red in the twerk off. Young Miami, I'm with it. Keep doing it, love. I think y'all need to have a rematch, definitely. I think you guys definitely need to have a rematch because obviously we loving it. But side note, Sexy Red won in that twerk off. Sexy Red is the new sex symbol in hip hop. Sexy Red is the new sex symbol in hip hop. Sexy Red is the new leader of the new school. Now we know Nicki Minaj, we're not going to make the comparison. Nicki's in her own regard. She's in her own space. Nicki Minaj is an anomaly. She's something different right now in hip hop because lyricism is something that's seldom seen in hip hop nowadays. All right. So that's what catapulted Nicki Minaj into being an anomaly because her colleagues can't keep up with her lyrically. But though, shout out to Meg Thee Stallion on that effort with that beef with Nicki. Meg, you did your thing, no doubt. All right, but nonetheless, I'm gonna be here to say it, you guys. Big shout out to Sexy Red. Get it, sexy. That part. Shout out to Sexy Red. Twerk queen. She the new icon. She's the new woman. All right. She's the new leader of the new school with the women. I see all y'all women in y'all car playing Sexy Red. I see the most classiest women playing Sexy Red. I see women in that vehicle, women with careers playing Sexy Red. I see on Instagram, women post using Sexy Red as the audio. I see it. I've been paying attention to it. Nothing in society surprises me now. Nothing. We're in a paradox. Twilight Zone. Shit is just different right now. Big shout out to Sexy Red. Nonetheless. Shout out to Sexy Red. L.O.T.S approved media. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 80. All right? Now, you guys, we about to bring this to closer. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Nam nigga promised tomorrow. So I can't tell you guys that we're going to meet up next Friday. All right? But by the grace of God, he breathed air into my lungs so we can meet up today. And I praise and I show the universe gratitude. I suggest you guys show the universe gratitude also. Make sure you guys show gratitude for the things that you have. Stop paying attention to the things that you don't have and go out and get it. Count your blessings. Be happy for the things that you do have. I'm always going to tell you that. If you want the universe to continue to reward you, be happy with the things that you do have. And I always lead off with this. Every mountain, the highest mountain, has the best view. The steepest, most rugged mountain, highest mountain has the best view. You just got to get to the top. How? Faith. Faith of a mustard seed. Consistency. Faith. Discipline. That's how you get to that top. And I'm going to lead off with this. Like I always say, discouragement and failure, those are the stepping stones to success. Don't be scared to fail out here. Put your best foot forward. When you lack inspiration, rely on consistency. When you're lacking motivation, rely on consistency and discipline. All right? Now let's get some outro music going. That part. Bada bing, bada bing. Hey, listen, once again, I'm the incomparable, the author, imitator, but cannot be duplicated. I'm the one they took their style from. I'm the elected, the appointed voice of the streets. I'm the one that keeps creating what they keep taking, all right? L.O.T.S approved, Lord of the streets, leader of the streets, learn off the streets, living off the streets. You heard me. Leaders, we all leaders. Shout out to all the leaders in the streets and not the followers. You heard me? I am public enemy number one, the top op. This show is powered by L.O.T.S approved media. We're streaming off of YouTube right now. Also, we're streaming off of Facebook and Twitter. All right? Once again, this is the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Welcome to episode number 80. That means we got 20 episodes left till we reach episode 100. Yeah, we're going for episode 100. With that being said, I'm out. 100. That part. Enjoy your weekend, people. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. That part.